Hey everyone, I am here with Liz from Premier Gems, and today we are going to be talking about some haunted jewels for Halloween. Liz, your costume looks amazing.
Thanks so much. I'm trying to do a little bit of a breakfast at Tiffany's sort of thing. So I love the pirate getup. I live with pirates. So Halloween is probably one of my most favorite holidays there are. So and my other favorite thing is jewelry history. So doing creepy stories in jewelry history is probably one of the best things that I can come up with for this epic holiday. So we're talking about three stones that tend to have a history about them. Some people call them cursed. So the interesting thing about curses, all of these stones have something very much in common. They're all from the 1880s right to 1920s because lots of archaeological finds were happening at this time, and a lot of people were saying that things were cursed. I mean, you can think of Curse of King Tut and everything surrounding with that. People opened up the tomb and they all got sick. It wasn't pneumonia. No. That was a curse. So, and that's a lot of similar things happen with these stones here. Some bad things happen, so there's a very interesting story attached to it.
All right, I'm going to throw the first one up here.
Okay, so this one's really interesting. This is the Delhi Purple Sapphire. So this is one of the stories of the cat that came back, sort of thing. So the sapphire was brought to light when the curator of London Museum uncovered the stone with a note attached to it about its underlying curse. So then this is in the early to mid 1800s. The stone was originally looted from an Indian temple, and the stone brought poor health and financial troubles to its owner. For one owner, being Edward Heron Allen, he owned the gemstone, and he had so many unfortunate and terrible things to happen in his life that he threw it into a canal, and somebody actually found it and returned it to him. So he knew it was cursed, and eventually sent it to the museum with instructions that no one should ever touch it until 3 years after his death.
Creepy. Okay, here's the second one.
The next one that we are talking about, you may have recognized this from one or two very huge movies, and this would be the Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond has been owned by a lot of people, and terrible things have happened to many of these people. So the main creepy part of this being the fact that the Hope Diamond has brought trouble to all who have owned it, according to the Washington Post in 1908. It's home into the Smithsonian Museum now, but before it made its home at the Smithsonian, it was stolen by a priest who was ultimately captured and tortured for his thievery. And then it went on to a French trader who was supposedly killed by a group of random rabid dogs. Several owners have had this and have had awful things happen to them. The Sultan Hamid gave it to Abu Severe, but later Severe was imprisoned and tortured. A Turkish attendant was hanged for having it in his possession. Somebody in Paris was torn apart by wild dogs. And
definitely sounds like something you wouldn't want to own.
Yeah. Somebody else borrowed it temporarily and wore it and was disgraced and died in prison. Princess Lamballe also owned it and was torn to pieces by a French mob. Now, who knows if this had something to do with the diamond, but if I had a chance to wear it, I probably would, maybe just for a few minutes.
And this last one, Liz, is probably the most creepy in terms of the list of creepiness.
All right, and we are talking about the Black Orlov. This one is called the Eye of Rama. It was stolen from a Hindu shrine by a monk, and this gem was passed down to multiple female owners, many of whom had taken their own lives. At least two of the women who took possession by the Black Orlov left to their deaths from a tall building. After the jewel was sold to a jeweler in New York, the curse is said to have been broken. Back in this time, about 1920, seances were pretty big too. So maybe something had happened to break the curse, but future owners, it does. It's good for future owners, but for the previous victims, there's nothing but bad luck.
And Liz, if anyone has any sort of inquiries about making their own creepy jewel, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay, so curses are an extra fee. Okay, I got this for free. But if you do want to contact me, and if you have any questions about any other historic pieces, you can reach us at Premier Gems YYC. You can and that's also on Instagram and Twitter. You can reach me at liz@premiergems.ca or on Facebook at Premier Gems.
Thanks, Liz, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Take care.